What's up, y'all? This Lil WB back at again of the Slab History 101. Man, today I kind of want to come in and talk about, a spot that's very dear to me, you know what I'm saying, where I got my game from in the slab, where I seen slabs, been around slabs, you know what I'm saying. Today I'm going to talk about my pop shop, WBS Auto Sale. So I'm not gonna necessarily just talk about specifically, my dad's era, you know what I'm saying, when it came to the shop. I'll even go, before. So back from what my daddy told me, back when my daddy was young, I say like the early 80s, so like 80, 1980, 1981, or late 70s, you know what I'm saying. He told me that pretty much that car, it was a car lot before that, or even before that was a gas station. So I think it was a gas station like in the 70s, you know what I'm saying, or a tire shop in the 70s, and then eventually it became a car lot that a dude had, you know what I'm saying. And my pop said that every time he used to ride by when he was young, it would be like one or two cars out there. The dude really wasn't selling too many cars. So eventually my grandfather actually went and bought the shop. It went and bought the first side of the shop, you know what I'm saying. And if you seen the video I did with my pops, I think it's episode five or six or something like that. He kind of go into depth about it a little bit more, but basically my grandfather bought the shop in I think like 1983, 1984, you know what I'm saying? And he used to rent it out to people. If you from Homestead, specifically like the city gas era, the city gas area, the Trinity Garden, Houston Gardens area, Rosewood area, of the names Man and Stinker. So basically they were, some known cats back in the day, you know what I'm saying, that, rode, and not even slabs really. I don't really ever hear them about, too much about, them having cars like slabs back then. They rode like foreigns, like Corvettes, you know what I'm saying, Porsches, cars like that, Benzes, stuff like that. So pretty much they opened a detail shop like in the 80s, the early 90s, you know what I'm saying. They had that jumping, back then. So if you was from that era, that late 80s, mid 80s, when Man and Stank was renting it from my grandfather, hey, you know what it is, you know what I'm saying. But that's like way back. A lot of people don't really know that. Then once my pops graduated from high school, he graduated from Forest Brook in 1990. I believe him, my godfather, and Charlie Moe from Rosewood, they opened up kind of like a car wash, you know what I'm saying? So they fresh out of high school, open up a car wash, you know what I'm saying? You got a lot of people coming up there, riding slabs, they got, workers, people detailing cars and everything. It was like a hangout spot, you know what I'm saying? It was a hangout spot in the late 80s all the way up until when my pops had a little stint where he kind of had a car wash up there when he was like, 17, 18, 19. They was doing their thing up there, and from what he told me, when he had the car wash up there, he pretty much used to sell like one or two cars. He might find a car on the side of the street that got a number on it, and he would sell it up there. Time went on, you know what I'm saying. I think my grandfather rented it again to some people, you know what I'm saying, and then eventually my pops came up with the idea I'm gonna do that again, because every time he sold a car while he was at the car wash, he pretty much was selling them pretty fast. He knew the area, you know what I'm saying. He knew the type of cars that people wanted, you know what I'm saying. So that's how he kind of came up with the idea to say, man, I'm just gonna open up a car lot, you know, at the spot, you know what I'm saying, at the shop. And like I said, he goes into it way more in detail in his interview. I think the interview was maybe like, man, like probably like 50 minutes long, an hour long, you know what I'm saying, to where he just kind of go into depth about it, you know what I'm saying. It's a really interesting interview, you know what I'm saying. But pretty much he started selling cars up there, you know what I'm saying, started gaining customers, you know what I'm saying, and then eventually, he kind of found like I guess you could say like a connect to David Taylor Cadillac, you know what I'm saying. So he started to buy a lot of Cadillacs, I think at the time it was like when David Taylor Cadillac pretty much basically used to get cars imported, the cars that nobody really wanted, from my understanding, or cars that people might have traded in. It would be in the back of David Taylor Cadillac, and you had dealers that would come up there and pretty much do an auction with those Cadillacs. So he pretty much, understood what was in that area. Like I said, the shop is in Rosewood, you know what I'm saying? So this is already like a slab infested, car infested, carjacking kind of neighborhood inside of town. So he kind of thought in his head, hey man, we like riding Cadillacs. I know all these guys over here. So, man, let me go ahead and buy some Cadillac Fleetwoods, some Cadillac Sedan DeVilles, Cadillac Sevilles. Just pretty much did that. Pretty much gave it a gold package around the car, and it's sad to say, but hey, back in the day, it was a lot of D boys. They used to come up there and pretty much buy those cars and turn them into slabs or put wheels on them. This is at the very beginning, and then a little bit. This is like 98 to like, we could say 98 to about 06 when this era was kind of coming into play. So eventually, he started touching them L dogs, you know what I'm saying? The convertible L dogs. He had so many cars, convertible L dogs, Sevilles, Fleetwoods, 96 Fleetwoods, Park Aves, LeSabres, 84 LeSabres, you know what I'm saying? And he would always put that, WB's touch to it, whether it's putting vents on there or putting some chrome on the door handles, you know what I'm saying? And Vogues on the tires, you know what I'm saying? And then eventually he got to a point to where he was like, okay, we start riding. Everybody around here pretty much, what we like to do is ride slab, man. I got a car lot, so hey man, I just bought this Cadillac, you know what I'm saying, off eBay. And at the time, a lot of people really wasn't hip to going on eBay and buying a car, you know what I'm saying? This early 2000s, late 90s, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people wasn't hip to that, getting drop top Cadillacs and putting, elbows on them pretty much. And like everybody know, you know what I'm saying, if you pass by Homestead, you pass by Rosewood, it was a known thing that he was gonna have something outside, the car lot, you know what I'm saying? He was gonna have 3-4, Cadillac drop L dogs, Alantes, drop Sevilles, Park Aves, all bolted up on wheels, you know what I'm saying? Bolted up on Lorenzos, you know what I'm saying? Had Lincolns bolted up on Lorenzos, had Lexuses bolted up on Blades, you know what I'm saying? When the 22s came out, he had cars on 22s. When the 02, 03, 05, the Sabres came out, he had them on 22s, you know what I'm saying? Had them on Dubs, because that was kind of like his niche. And like I said, he was young. So when he started the shop again, he might have been like, man, maybe like 24, 25, you know what I'm saying? And hey man, that's what he was into at that time, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people from that northeast, you know what I'm saying, whether it be from 5th Ward all the way to Riverwood, you know what I'm saying, they'll all tell you damn near pretty much like, hey, we definitely heard about WBs back in the day. Man, I got my first car up, man. I didn't talk to people it was crazy. I didn't talk to people that might have been like 40 years old, you know what I'm saying, way older than me, and they like, yo, yeah, man, I bought my first car, you know what I'm saying, from your pops when I was a teenager. And I was like, God dang, like, you old, you know what I'm saying, when you done bought your first car over there, you know what I'm saying? So, and a lot of people will tell you too, well, specifically me, you know what I'm saying, but people will tell me, you know what I'm saying, that I ain't gonna say he is the reason that the stead is crunk up, you know what I'm saying, how it is, but I will say that he definitely is, you know what I'm saying, a person that contributes to the slab scene on Homestead, you know what I'm saying, because, man, he tell me all the time when he had them wheels up there, you know what I'm saying, the cars and the wheels up there, it was just like, man, you had so many D-boys coming up there, so many hustlers, jackers, robbers that would look up and come to the shop and would look at these cars and be like, oh, no, give me about a month. I'm going to come right back and I'm getting this, you know what I'm saying? So he really, during them times, you know what I'm saying, the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, you know what I'm saying, all the way to the mid 2000s, man, he pretty much, had Homestead sold up, you know what I'm saying, when it came to the wheels, you know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, you could be riding down the street and you will see a slab, you know what I'm saying, on Homestead, and it might not have directly came from WBs, you know what I'm saying, but it might have came, somebody bought it and then somebody sold it to somebody else and then somebody sold it and then now it's this car, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much, what I would say, his contribution to the game is, you know what I'm saying? He gave a lot of niggas, an avenue, you know what I'm saying, to look up to, you know what I'm saying? And then you have a lot of people today, I never really mentioned this either, but it's a lot of people today that, they ride slab, but at the same time, they might sell cars on the side, you know what I'm saying? My pops pretty much was the first one to do something like that, because he tell me all the time, it was a lot of people that, was in the streets back then that would kind of see that and they kind of thought that was cool, you know what I'm saying, to a group of cats, you know what I'm saying, they pretty much was like, man, oh, let me go get my dealer's license. They might not have done nothing with it, you know what I'm saying, but just the fact of he gave cats a different avenue and a different outlook, you know what I'm saying, on this car perspective, you know what I'm saying. I pretty much say that other than like Floyd, you know what I'm saying, Floyd Are You Game, you know what I'm saying, with the surround by sound, I can't really think of too many people before my pop's time that, you had somebody who actually rolled slab, because I didn't even mention, you know what I'm saying, he rolled slab too, way before he started the shop, you know what I'm saying. He had that Cutlass, the same, kind of like the same one. I think his was like an 85 or 86 Cutlass, you know what I'm saying, but he wrecked it coming home from Prairie View, going to a party, you know what I'm saying. He was like sophomore, junior in high school, maroon with the yellow top, you know what I'm saying, yellow pinstripe and yellow brake calipers, you know what I'm saying. And he had that. He had the Cadillac, you know what I'm saying. I see a picture of it, I always see the picture of it. It looked white on the picture, but people always say like, nah, it was like a tannish gold color, you know what I'm saying? And they had a gold package around the car with the grill, you know what I'm saying, and the bumper kit, you know what I'm saying. From my knowledge, him and Brock from Cynicwood was pretty much the first cats, you know what I'm saying, to ride bumper kits on the north side, specifically on Homestead, but that northeast for sure, he'll tell me, like, he can't really speak on if, and like I keep saying, you can go watch the interview, you know what I'm saying, but he break it down even more, like episode 5 or something like that. He's safe from his time, you know what I'm saying, pretty much no other person on the north side for sure was riding fifth wheels other than like him and Brock, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, man, so a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, looked up to him because he is a person that rolls slab, you know what I'm saying, and then, eventually was like, man, I'm gonna start selling cars, man. I'm finna start giving young dudes, you know what I'm saying, on his side of town a different outlook, you know what I'm saying. He probably wasn't thinking like that, I'm probably just, maybe I'm kind of over exaggerating what he was thinking, you know what I'm saying, but I mean, he kind of just was like, man, I like these cars. This is my niche. My niche is gonna be, man, I got cars here that you ain't gotta do nothing to. That was pretty much like the catch, Coming to WBs, you gonna ride in a clean car, you know what I'm saying, a good car, you know what I'm saying, and shit, you gonna pretty much pull out. You can have a whole slab once you sign that dotted line, you know what I'm saying, to pay him, and you pull out, you got a whole slab, so that was like his niche, you know what I'm saying. Eventually as time kind of went on, he pretty much, I don't want to say got tired of it, but he pretty much just, it's like, I'm probably gonna leave the old schools alone. He really don't really mess with old schools like that no more. He feel like he kind of did it, you know what I'm saying, when he was young. So he pretty much still has the car lot, you know what I'm saying, still pumping out cars, you know what I'm saying, still working hard, you know what I'm saying, but he really just don't mess with the old schools no more because he feel like that was a time, you know what I'm saying, that, he rode slab. Some OGs always feel like this too, that pretty much like I did that back in the day, like what I gotta do it now for, you know what I'm saying, like, how some people come on the interviews and say, oh man, it ain't the same, you know what I'm saying. A lot of people feel like that. That's how my pops pretty much feel, you know what I'm saying. Just me, you know what I'm saying, from my perspective of it, man, I pretty much grew up in this, you know what I'm saying. I remember getting dropped off at my pop shop, you know what I'm saying, and we being there all day, you know what I'm saying, and all night, you know what I'm saying. You seeing so many different people pulling up, you know what I'm saying. You seeing so many people that I even interview to this day, you know what I'm saying, that'll pull up, uh, get cars, buy cars, you know what I'm saying. And then you had the car wash across the street, uh, Slabs pulling up all day, all night, you know what I'm saying. It got to a point to where my daddy had closed the shop down. You know, he'll close the gate. He put all his homeboys to come, you know what I'm saying. The whole Baca Blue Line, you know what I'm saying, pulling up, Shannon pulling up too, man. Tim pulling up, you know what I'm saying. You know, different slab figures, Fred Love pulling up, you know what I'm saying. And he'll close that gate, man. We'll just be on Homestead all day and all night, you know what I'm saying. In Rosewood all day and all night, you know what I'm saying. So, man, it's like a time that I always cherish, you know what I'm saying. Just seeing them cars, you know, just parked at the shop, parked at the car wash, you know, being around them so much. I remember being young and like playing with the Cadillac symbols on the L dogs, you know what I'm saying, and breaking them, you know what I'm saying. I just remember that, you know. If you would have asked me when I was 10 years old, what is a slab, I would have told you a 1984 L dog Ritz, and I didn't think it was no other car, you know. I didn't think it was a Fleetwood. I didn't think it was a Park Ave, man. I thought it was a drop L dog, you know what I'm saying, because he had so many of them. And it's a lot of cars that, you know, that's still out there that came from him originally, whether the owners know it or not, you know what I'm saying. I know that, you know, there's some cars out there that, you know, originally came from WBs, you know what I'm saying. So that's kind of like how I kind of got into the game, you know what I'm saying. That's kind of got how I got into Slab OGs TV, me putting my colors together, you know what I'm saying, is from that whole era when I was young and he was building them cars, bringing them home, you know what I'm saying. Everybody on the block, you know what I'm saying, just going crazy. My pops pulling up, you know what I'm saying, the different Cadillacs, you know, every day, literally, you know what I'm saying, on different type wheels. Man, it was a time to be alive, you know what I'm saying, to see Homestead lit like that in '05, you know what I'm saying. And I say '05 specifically because that's the year that I specifically remember. Because, I mean, he was doing it back in the day like 98, 99, 2000, 2001 too. But, you know, I don't really remember it like that. I remember it, but I don't remember it as distinctively as I do like 2005, 2006, 2007, you know what I'm saying. So if somebody ever asks me, you know what I'm saying, the great years of like that Homestead era, man, I'm gonna say them years right there, because that's what I remember. I remember how crunky used to be, how different spots on Homestead used to be lit up, you know what I'm saying. And my pop shop is one of them. Man, you can't deny it, you know, that shop is a staple on the north side. It's a staple on Homestead for sure, you know what I'm saying. To have a car lot, you know, selling slabs in Rosewood is a whole nother topic and a whole nother discussion, you know what I'm saying. That took a lot of nuts, you know what I'm saying. It was even people that used to think back in the day that he you know, got people to steal cars and bring him up there and he taking the wheel. Man, that wasn't the case, man. He just was a dude that just loved cars, all around cars, you know what I'm saying. I done seen him pull up muscle cars and all that, you know. But man, y'all, if y'all ever go to the shop, man, y'all pull up on my pops, tell him what's up, you know what I'm saying. He cool dude, you know what I'm saying. He got a lot of stories from back then too. He got bad memories, so he don't really remember too many people, you know what I'm saying. But if you probably known him, or you know what I'm saying, he getting old, so he don't really remember too many faces, you know what I'm saying. But he do remember stories, you know what I'm saying, and remember certain cars. I wanted to get him back on for another interview just to, you know, hear his thoughts and, you know, just to hear his thoughts on the slab game today. But like I say, man, he don't really care about all that no more. He kind of did it, you know. He did it from the time he was, I say 16, 17 years old, from the time he got his first car, you know, all the way up until now. So, man, shout out to my pop, shout out to WBs, man, shout out to Carruthers and Homestead, you know what I'm saying. That's a block that I hold dear to my heart, you know what I'm saying. Got it tatted on me. Like I said, man, Slab History 101, Lil WB, we out.